Tyler Perry, one of the most influential people in Hollywood.
His iconic Medea character is one of the most beloved franchises.
Forbes named him the #3 top black star.
Are you insane?
That was my parking spot.
Put my car down now!
Perry is not without controversy.
It's buffoonery.
You gotta let me go.
It was not me. Do you understand?
Has been such a beacon in our community.
You changed your name, you said, to distance yourself from your father.
Why did that little boy think he could do that?
First time in my life, I started screaming and yelling at him.
Titan Tyler Perry is one of Hollywood's most prolific power players.
Why are you ready to go public with this now?
My father grabs me. He says, "You little mother, I will get you."
He's opening up for the first time. I didn't know that, Tyler.
And I remember him hitting me with this vacuum cleaner cord, and he just would not stop.
I pointed the gun at him. I'm not proud of that fact.
And yet, you still take care of him. You still
do.
send him a check every month.
I learned early on not to tell.
Writer, actor, director, producer, self-made mogul.
And I'm holding so tight, my hands are bloody as he's hitting me. It took me so long to understand what happened. From that moment on, it was worse. It was unbearable. I remember my mother and my aunt taking me to the park when all the boys were there playing. So I'm there in this park running and playing. It was such a good day. So every time somebody was doing something to me that was horrible, I could go to this park in my mind until it was over. My father grabs me. He wanted me to change a tire, and I could not change the tire. And I have to go in the house and tell him that I can't change the tire. My mother's standing there. She's like, she doesn't know what to do. He went into a rage, and he comes back, and he couldn't get the bolts off because they were rusted. And he looked up at me, and there was a smirk on my face. And all I remember is him tackling me. And I remember holding on to a chain link fence, and I'm holding so tight, my hands are bloody as he's hitting me. And I'm holding, just trying to hold on for my life. And I feel myself trying to get to that place, trying to get to the park. In my mind, I'm trying to get to the park so I can deal with this, and I can't. I couldn't get there. And I was so enraged about it. And I kept trying and trying. And when I finally I saw the grass coming in my mind, I see myself running from me. And I couldn't get the little boy. I couldn't get the little boy to come back to me. I couldn't get myself to come back to me. And I think I died that day, and I don't understand. It took me so long to understand what happened.
I had always known that this man despised me, and I could not figure it out for the longest. I could not figure out why he hated me so. Every action was about his hatred or his disdain for me.
I entered what I consider to be the dead years of my life. It was up to the time I was 28, where I was just existing. And through these dead years is when I started to search my soul. I turn on the TV and I see you, and you say it's cathartic to start writing. I didn't even know what cathartic meant. I went to look it up, and I started writing down all of the things that had happened to me, but I was using different characters' names. A friend of mine finds it and says, "Man, this is a really good play."
I wanted to be able to take care of my mother. She had been through breast cancer, and she had developed diabetes, and she was getting sick all the time. So I was driven to a point of just wanting to have enough money to take care of her, and I would try to do this play.
I had put all my car payment, rent, every dime I had, my tax returns, everything in this play. And I thought 1,200 people would show up. I just knew it. And only 30 showed up. Lost everything I had, rent, car payment, everything.
I would try to do this play once a year. And every time I went out to do the show failed. My mother said to me, she said, "You stop doing these plays, you're never gonna make it." And it crushed me, it devastated me, because this is this woman I love so dearly. How could she say that to me?
And things kept falling apart. And more for 7 or 8 years of trying to get the show up, nothing worked.
It's about adult survivors of child abuse who had forgiven their parents for the abuse. And I hadn't forgiven my father.
He and I had a conversation on the phone once, and I started screaming and yelling at him. First time in my life, I was saying things to him that I wouldn't dare have said if he was this close to me. Things that the little boy in me was speaking. Once I said all of that stuff to him, if all you know is anger, all you know is to hold on to, that's your fuel, it is scary to let go. The same strength that it took to take it is the same amount of strength that it takes to let it go. And sometimes you spent all of it. You have nothing else to give. But forgiving him, this is when my life changed. This is when everything changed. It was ripped out of me, whatever it was that I was holding for so long. Because anger is good. Bitterness is not. And I was bitter. But forgiving him, what is difficult is something that he'll never have, and that is a relationship with me. I'm not doing that to myself anymore. I deserve better. I didn't deserve what he did. I am not going to sit here and allow myself to suffer anymore at the hands of anyone else. There were a lot of things that I walked through in order to get to freedom. Even though these things had happened to me, it was not me.
Right now, I look at the most beautiful little boy I've ever seen in my life. My son is 3 years old. We were on the beach and he's jumping behind me. And I turn around and I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'm walking in your footsteps, Papa. And I pull him by the hand and we walk up the beach. I get to the end of the beach and I said, look, we both left footprints in the sand. We both left our own path.
I tell people who are in pain, who are struggling, just listen, just keep going. One little step is a step, just one little step, because I do believe that to everything there's an opposite. So for all of that pain and hell I was going through as a child, there had to be beauty. And I would challenge anyone who is struggling and trying to figure out what to do, to press on, because whatever this pain was, there is an opposite if you can press to it and get to it.
From the rising of the sun till it's going down, your faithfulness is sure, your mercies ever new. From the rising of the sun till it's going down, your faithfulness is sure, your mercies ever new. Wave your hands, say, from the rising of the sun till it's going down, God's faithfulness, His mercies ever new. From the rising of the sun till it's going down, your faithfulness, your mercies ever new. No That's why I praise Him the way I praise You the way I do. No one knows like I know what is done for me. That's why I praise Him the way I praise You the way I do. Your favor surrounds me like a shield. Your love amazes me. Your grace has lifted me. How many of you know that? Come on. Your favor surrounds me like a shield. Your love amazes. Your love amazes. Your grace has lifted. Your grace has lifted me. Lift up your hands, sing it to Him, woman. Your favor surrounds me. lifted me from the married clay and has set my feet upon the rock. Lift up your hands and say, thank you, Jesus. You see, I will dance, it won't be enough, and I will shout, it won't be enough, but still will I praise Him, because you're good, and that's why I sing, and that's why I shout for joy. Lord, I'm grateful. Anybody grateful right here? Every time you see me, I shout for joy. Lord, I'm grateful. I say, wave your hands to Him. I shout for joy. I'm grateful. I sing, yes. Oh, I shout for joy. Lord, I'm grateful. No one knows. Nobody like I know what is done for me. That's why I praise Him the way I do. Lord, I give my praise to You. Nobody knows what is done for me. That's why I praise Him the way I do. Lift up your hands to Me. Nobody knows like she not knows what the Lord has done for me. That's why I love Him the way I do. Nobody knows like you, like you know what the Lord has done for me. Lift your hands and praise His name. Sing it with me. No one knows, everybody, like I know what is done for me. That's why I praise Him the way. Sing it one more time. No one knows like I know what Jesus done for me. That's why I lift my hands and pray. No one knows like I know what is done for me. That's why I love Him the way I do. We love You, Jesus. We adore Your name, Jesus. You took us out to bring us in. We lift our voice to You. We rejoice in Your praise. Faithful God, mighty God. Wave your hands and begin to worship.
What would Tyler Perry say to that little boy?
I would tell him it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I'm going to make you proud. It's going to be all right.
Glory be to God. What a powerful testimony. I hope you've all been inspired to do something in your lives. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Have a lovely day.